was a day to honor and mourn the U.S. service members who gave their lives protecting our freedoms. Services were held across the metro area on this Memorial Day. In Alpharetta, the city and the Rotary Club hosted their annual Memorial Day tribute at City Hall. The program included Grant McGarry, a combat veteran with 5 deployments and an inductee into the Georgia Military Hall of Fame.
In Dunwoody, neighbors and city leaders gathered for the DeKalb Veterans Memorial at Brook Run Park this morning. The event is held by Dunwoody's Park and Recreation Department. And in Decula, the community gathered for the 30th annual Decula Memorial Day Parade. People lined the streets near Decula High School to pay tribute to those who answered the nation's call to serve and gave their
thirsty, I'll be rain. If you get hurt, I'll take your pain. I know you don't believe it, but I said it and I still mean it. When you heard what I told you, if you're worried, I'll be your soldier. Funny when times get hard, and the last moment when you're supposed to charge. Always on the longest yard. Oh, you feel the feet getting cold. Hiding here and hiding there. Find them underneath the stairs. Yeah, people hiding everywhere. Trying to be as still as a stone. So I'll get it if you need it. I'll search if you don't see it. If you're thirsty, I'll be rain. If you get hurt, I'll take your pain. I know you don't believe it. I said it and I still mean it. When you heard what I told you, when you get worried, I'll be your soldier. I am a soldier. I wanna show you I'll die forever. I'm never gonna say surrender. I'll get it if you need it. I'll search if you don't see it. If you're thirsty, I'll be rain. If you get hurt, I'll take your pain. I know you don't believe it, but I said it and I still mean it. When you heard what I told you, when you get worried, I'll be your soldier.
Children need to know what this is all about, what all these graves are about.
A day to remember and give gratitude to those who fought for this country and gave their all. Volunteers placed American flags at every single service member's grave.
I am a Vietnam vet, and the reason I'm here is to honor those that I couldn't bring home.
Members of the Atlanta Concert Band played taps. Service members laid wreaths and paid their respects to those who came and fought before them.
Honoring all of the people in here who gave up their lives in service to their country. And in our family, there is a lot of military.
At the end of the Civil War, Pamela Cole's ancestors donated the land to be used as a burial ground for both Union and Confederate soldiers. Today, there are about 20,000 graves there.
My husband is the latest one because he died in 2021, and he was a Vietnam veteran in the Navy.
An important reminder of what matters and what this day is all about.
Today is about our dead. Today is about those that have lost. Today's the day about the Gold Star families.
In Marietta, Rob DiRienzo for Fox 5 News.
Phobic flyers litter lawns and driveways in one Roswell community.
That's still going on.
Involving hate-filled flyers, and neighbors are demanding answers.
I mean, that's really the problem. I don't know, and I don't think any of my peers are aware of any colleague, traditionally trained Orthodox rabbi, who doesn't recognize that economic warfare against Israel, like boycotts, it comes out of classic anti-Semitic economic warfare against Jews. 100% that it's anti-Semitic. There's something called the Nexus document, which tries to paper that over and claim that it's a legitimate anti-Israel political position. And when that is put up against the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism, which clearly outlines the various anti-Semitic positions used against Israel, that just muddies the water. Yet the Biden administration has now praised both of those documents, giving precedence to the IHRA definition, perhaps, but also commending the Nexus document, and that's simply unacceptable.
And so where do you see this leading?
Well, what it's going to do is muddy the water. Like you said, it's going to allow real, legitimate anti-Semitism to fester. We see out in the field, you see on college campuses, that people start with these anti-Israel protests that promptly devolve into finding excuses to hate Jews. And that's what has now been enabled when you have a document like the Nexus document claiming, oh, that's not anti-Semitic. If it's not anti-Semitic, why is it that Palestinian flags are used against Jews interchangeably with swastikas?
Now, you've pointed to the administration's ties with certain organizations like the Council on American Islamic Relations and the Southern Poverty Law Center as a cause for concern. Could you tell me more about that?
Well, it's more than a cause for concern. We've directly pointed out that both of these organizations are encouraging and inciting anti-Semitism. The Southern Poverty Law Center puts a series of conservative organizations in the category of hate groups. That includes places like Family Research Council, but it also includes people who are fighting radical Islamic terrorism, which the SPLC does not identify as a collection of hate groups. It's amazing because more people have been killed, more Jews have been killed in the last 50 years by radical Islamic terror than any of the various groups that they do specify. So they're masking it, they're covering it over, and they're working together with the Council on American Islamic Relations, which encourages anti-Jewish boycotts and also has backed Hamas and has ties to the Hamas terror organization. It's quite alarming that the Biden administration would list them as partners and not list any Orthodox Jewish organization as a partner in their efforts to combat anti-Semitism.
These deviations from normal process, and each and every time it seemed to always benefit the subject.
Of course, Shapley is being somewhat vague on the details, and this is due to legal requirements on investigations like this. But the way his claims are being interpreted is that the DOJ and the FBI beneath it have been trying to stop the investigation specifically into Hunter Biden and into Joe Biden by extension. And as if to cement the concerns, the IRS, they removed the entire investigative team from looking into this case in Hunter Biden. Now, this was framed as possible retaliation against the whistleblowers who revealed how the DOJ was interfering with this probe. Now, the timing for all this is really bad for the FBI and the Department of Justice overall. The agencies, both of them, right now as we speak, are being framed as emblems of systemic corruption and notably of weaponization of justice, something people believe is seeping into the political establishment right now. Look, we recently learned one example of this, one of many. The report from Special Counsel John Durham has problems in its own, but it noted that the FBI's Crossfire Hurricane investigation, guess what? That whole Trump-Russia thing, it was a giant sham. It was fake. It turned out they used fake evidence. They did not carry out the key interviews. And generally, they lied to the American people, the FBI, while their investigation was used notably to interfere in 3 American elections. They interfered in 2016, 2018, and in 2020, the FBI. And apparently the whole Crossfire Hurricane investigation was just, well, too ridiculous, even for the British. British intelligence even voiced their skepticism about the FBI probe into former President Donald Trump. They became so concerned, British intelligence, that they stopped cooperating with the FBI. And the American public really don't seem to be very happy about this. A Rasmussen poll found that 63% of Americans, they believe that Crossfire Hurricane, the whole FBI investigation, was nothing but a hit job against Donald Trump. Now look, we also learned that while Obama, the DOJ under him, and the FBI were targeting Trump, that they were taking an almost polar opposite approach to Hillary Clinton, who, remember at the time, was running against Trump for president. Rather than go off of unverified claims and, take rumors as fact like they're doing against Trump, the FBI was ignoring actual evidence in the Clinton case. In fact, it turns out, folks, the FBI dropped at least 4 criminal investigations on Clinton. In other words, they, did not pursue them. And this paints the DOJ's ongoing probes into Trump, which are still happening as we speak, in a politicized light, and justifiably. It's happening again while Trump is running for president. They're doing the same thing. The department is expected to bring charges against Donald Trump very soon, now, the next one at least, for allegedly taking home classified documents when he was president. And as has been noted, all presidents since Ronald Reagan have also done that. But no worries about that. Trump is going to be the only one charged, the first one to ever face charges. And it is a question as well, given this circumstance, will the Department of Justice end up charging Joe Biden for allegedly committing the exact same crime? Notably, taking home classified documents, notably as well, when he was still a senator, and also when he was vice president under Barack Obama, meaning he did not, unlike Trump, have executive privilege? Well, Biden was actually questioned about this, including why he had the classified documents stored in his home garage next to his Corvette. Here's what Biden had to say.
Classified material next to your Corvette? What were you thinking?
Let me, we're going to get a chance to speak on all this, God willing, soon. But as I said earlier this week, people, and by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage. Okay? So it's not like they're sitting out in the street. But at any rate.
In a locked garage?
Yes, as well as my Corvette.
So it makes it legal then to take home classified documents if the room they're in is locked? Does that mean that this also applies to Donald Trump if his rooms were locked at Mar-a-Lago? Well, look, the DOJ, Department of Justice, they don't seem to think so. And with all
Why is that thing blocking the middle of the walkway? I mean, seriously. Get rid of this junk. Get these bicycles off of our walkways. They're too big.
Parts of the exhibit. One 19-year-old has been arrested and charged with burglary.
Turning now to the weather, it was
That Jurassic Park thing, that must be when I saw the police heading down Highland Avenue towards Virginia. I don't know if that's where it at or not. That's weird. He got locked up though.